All right, guys, what is up? Haven't spoken to you guys for ages. I've got a bit of a hair situation going on here, but I am today going to talk to you guys about the exact steps that you need to get to your fitness goals. And why do I know, or how do I know if they're the exact steps that you need? It's because I'm going to be answering your questions. I've got all of our FAQs, our problems that people have come into our Facebook group with. And I'm going to break it down. If you're here, fab. If you're not, I suppose you have to catch up. But it's going to be basically a very open conversation for 20 minutes, talking about some of these questions or some of these like points, challenges, whatever. And I'm just going to give tips based on that specific query. So if you have got a specific question, or if you're like, oh my God, I really need help with X, Y, or Z, pop it in the comments. I'll keep refreshing and hopefully I will get it and then I will answer your specific questions. So you're basically getting coach feedback immediately in person, digitally, but in person. Alrighty, yeah, so it's taken a while. Hey, Charlene. Okay, cool. So, and if you are watching on this one, hello, you. Yes, you. Say hi. I can't see your name, so you'll just have to pop your name next to it. Also, and if you've got any questions, I think they're going to pop up quite soon on this one. On this one, not so much. But I'll refresh and we're going to be good. All right, so guys, I need a number. I've got like over 700 potential things to talk about here. I need a number. So here's a good one. I have over 100 pounds to lose. Now, it is a good one because Sam is in here, and Sam is one of our clients who has lost over 100 pounds. And you're going to hear me say this a lot as well, it depends. So it does depend on how, like, have you already lost 40 pounds? Are you just starting? Your age, your activity level, any disabilities, medical condition, all of these kinds of things. But I'm just going to speak as if you are brand new, you just want to start losing weight now, and that's what I'll kind of speak to. So if you guys have got 20 pounds to lose, 5 pounds to lose, 100 pounds to lose, this is what you need to be doing, okay? You are just starting. This is what you need to do. First of all, forget the fucking calculators. Stop using calculators to try and calculate your calorie deficit. They are total BS. Unnecessary, especially when you're first starting. You don't need to worry about calories when you're first starting. You need to be putting yourself into the best possible position, learning how to do this long term and learn how to not plateau. The worst thing you're going to do, right, is throw everything out. You're super motivated. Like, yes, I'm going to go to the gym 4 times a week. I'm going to go to my classes. I'm going to hit 10K steps. I'm going to get my water. I'm going to hit my protein. I'm going to be in my calorie deficit, 500 calories a day, blah, 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 blah. And you're like losing weight. You're, yeah. And then all of a sudden, hit a wall. You're like, for fuck's sake, like, why? I put so much effort in. Why have I stopped? Why am I stuck? And if you have not done this properly, if you've done everything that I've just said, you're fucked in the nicest possible way. So you need to then undo a lot of the damage that you've done and start again. This is what you need to do instead. If you want to start to lose weight, this is what you need to do. Step 1. Hit your protein target. Now, if you are hitting roughly 80 grams a day, I mean, that's high for someone who doesn't actively think about protein. But if you're hitting 80 grams a day and your target is 160, don't double it. Don't be like, I'm just going to go from 80 to 160 because your body will be like, what the hell is this? I'm going to bloat. I'm going to make you feel sick. You're going to then binge and it's not going to be a fun time. Can be all backed up in there as well, So instead, start to add in 20 grams of protein, 20 grams. So now you're at 100 grams and you do that for a week or 2 weeks consistently. And I bet you will not hit it consistently. I bet you. I bet you money. So instead, you need to be like, right, I'm not doing 120 until I can hit 100 consistently. And then you do 120 consistently. And I bet you won't get that the first 2 weeks either. And then you're going to do 140 and then 160 or whatever you need to get to, right? So 160 is the goal. in this scenario, this is a random number. Please don't just 160 face it. It's not. It's just a random number that I'm picking up. And so you will get there. What will happen, because to figure out if you're hitting that much protein, you need to track your food, right? And in the process of tracking your food, you'll recognize, you'll be like, oh my God, like that's a lot of calories. Even though we're not tracking calories and like paying attention to calories right now, you're still gonna be like, oh, I didn't realize that was so high. And you'll think twice about the choices that you're making because now it's being documented. Even if you haven't got someone like a coach like myself or Cam or Shelby looking over it, you're still going to be self-aware, and that's going to make a big, big difference. The second thing is you're going to feel fuller because protein is highly satiating, which means that it is going to make you feel fuller for longer. It also helps you burn fat and build muscle. So win, 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 right? So you're going to start hitting your protein target. Once you can hit your protein target consistently for like a month, guess what's next? Are we cutting calories? No, we're going to fiber. Okay, that's the next one, is fiber. So your fiber intake. You're probably sitting around 7 grams of fiber unless you are plant-based, right? That's just, it is what it is. People eat shit. So now we're going to bump up our fiber bit by bit by bit by about 5 grams at a time, right? Don't go 20 this time, but we're going to aim for 25 grams. So we're going to keep building 7, 12, 15, 17, 22, forever, until we can hit around 20 to 25 grams a day consistently for a month. So now we're hitting our fiber for a month and we're also hitting our protein target. Fiber is also satiating. It also helps regulate your blood sugar. It also helps with bloating. And if you're perimenopausal, it's really, really, really going to help you, okay? Or menopausal. So fiber and protein, they're the two things that everybody benefits from. More so if you're over 30. If you're 30, 35, 40 plus, if you're going through perimenopause, menopause, they are the two things you need to be concentrating on before you even think about calories. So now you're probably about 4 months into your journey. You haven't thought about calories yet. But I can guarantee that now you're feeling better, digestion's way better, you've got way more energy, way less brain fog, you're feeling like, yeah, I can get up in the day and get on with my freaking life instead of wanting to roll back over. So now you're in a much better place. And also, your bloating will have gone down. You won't be having like gastric reflux or any of those kind of GI issues, probably, unless you've got something underlying. And you're probably looking way better. Now, remember, we haven't spoken about exercise at all yet. No, we haven't spoken about steps. We are just looking at nutrition. Okay, you should be drinking water as well. Okay, that's a given. You should be hitting about 100 ounces a day or 2.5 liters if you're in the UK. So they are like the two things you need to be hitting. 3 things now: water, fiber, protein. They are the 3 things. Whilst you're doing this, you will be tracking your calories. Now, we're not looking at how many you're eating yet, but once you can maintain the protein and the fiber, now we can start looking at the calorie number because we know the quality is there. We know we've got really good quality food because our protein and our fibers both being hit. So what we need to do then is look at our weight. I should have said this at the beginning. You need to be weighing every single day. And what you're going to look at over that 4, 5, 6 month period, however long it's taken you, like you could do this for 6 months and make progress without cutting your calories. So you're going to be doing this for 6 months. You're weighing every day. You are becoming detached from the scale because you see it go up and down every day. You're like, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. It happens. Now, what you're going to do is look at the last 7 days that you tracked after you've hit your protein and your fiber and your water. And you're going to look to see whether your weight has been going up, going down, or if it's staying the same. It's probably been going down, right? In which case, you look at the average of the last 7 days calories, add up the last 7 days calories, divide them by 7. So 7, 7. If you've only got 4 days of tracking, which you shouldn't have, you should have 7. You add up all 4 up and you divide by 4. If you've got 6, add 6 up, divide by 6, And so you then look at the average. And if it's 2,250, for example, 2250, but your weight is going up, then we just drop it down to 2,150. We just drop 100 or 150 calories. So you're looking around 2,100 calories. No. Yeah. Somewhere around 2,000 to 2,100 calories, something like that. But you keep the protein the same and you keep the fiber the same and you keep going. You will lose weight. Keep everything the same. Activities are the same. Steps are the same. Your calories are the same. And in fact, even before calories, I would actually say, how many steps are you getting? Increase that by 1,000. Again, 10K is just a magically made up number, actually, by a Japanese company who their marketing department was like, hey, 10,000 steps sound cool. And then the whole world took it on. So you want to be increasing your steps slowly. So if you look at your watch now, I'm on 12,783 steps. I did a long walk this morning. If your steps for the last 7 days have been 4,000 as an average, do not go to 10K. It is freaking pointless. You're going to plateau, you're going to burn out, you're going to give up, you're going to binge, you're going to gain the weight back. Instead, you want to be adding on 1,000. So you were on 4,000 steps, now you're hitting 5,000 steps a day for 14 days. Then you're going to add on another 1,000 steps a day for another 14 days. So you're on 6,000 steps. I can't remember what I said now. But that's how you're going to progress. And that's, again, it's going to take you a while, which means you're going to continue to make progress, steady, sustainable progress over time. By now, you've probably lost 20, 30 pounds, right? If you've just done that alone. And like I say, then when you get to like 6 months or whatever, you can start to cut your calories, and that's going to make a big difference too. So that is how you start to lose 100 pounds. There are other things, potentially, things like hormones. Are your hormones in check? Have you got any medical conditions? Have you got PCOS? Are you perimenopausal, menopausal? Have you got like some, I don't know, medical condition or whatever? So there are going to be times and situations where it doesn't work bang on for someone. But for most people, it's going to work just like that. That's the best way for it to work. Okay, so that is how you do it. That's your advice, Kathy. Okay, who else? Let me just check for. Let me just check for comments. Hello, Bev. Hey, Viv. Hey, Tori. How's it going, gang? Also, I'm not sighing, right? My chest is still bad, so I'm like, catch my breath. Okay, take my breath away. I'm not singing. Who else? We've had a few people join today. Let me just pick up one of theirs. Dun, dun. Okay. We've got two here, right? One of them says, I'm postmenopausal and really struggling to lose the weight. And one of them says, I'm a busy woman, perimenopausal, and looking for help. Okay. So if you are perimenopausal or menopausal and you're struggling with weight gain, especially around your belly, the things that you need to work on is not a calorie deficit. The thing that I find with most of my clients who are going through perimenopause and menopause, the main problem is stress. That is the starting domino. If you flick that over, everything else is fucked, right? Like, so you need to be working on your stress management. Think about it. Is there a more stressful time of your life when perhaps you've got kids and they need you, I don't know, what do kids need? Picking them up from school, or they're ill all the time, which means you're ill all the time and your partner's ill all the time. Everyone's sick all the freaking time. And maybe they need you to take them to after school club, and then they got a party, and then they are getting bullied, or I don't know, wherever, right? I clearly don't have kids. But that is stressful. And then you've got elderly parents, you need to pick them up, you need to take them places. Maybe they've got hospital appointments, you've got a bit of worry in the back of your brain all the time. That is stressful also. Then you've got life. You've got your own life to work on. What about you need to get your washing done, you need to get your cleaning done, you need to like do your food shop, meal prep, make sure the kids are fed, make sure they're bathed, and all of that kind of stuff. And then hit your steps, hit your protein, hit your fiber, all of those, and your exercises. And then on top of that, you also have work. And most people in this group are very driven and they're like obsessed with self-development. So they want to climb the ladder, or they want to be acknowledged, or they want to develop themselves personally and professionally. So they're doing course after course after course. They're traveling for work. They're, doing client meetings or client lunches and wherever. So that is a very stressful life. And typically that happens around late 30s to mid 50s, right? Like they're the most stressful times. As you get older, kids grow up, so probably they don't need you as much. And when you're younger, your parents are probably okay, and the kids might be too small to actually need you, to do stuff. They just lay there like. So there is no, and also you get more energy, right? Like when you're not perimenopausal, you've got like all this freaking energy. So now you haven't got energy, which means that you're falling behind in things, you're feeling stressed, and then you've got all this other stress on top. So stress is the number one thing. And also stress will increase your cortisol hormone, which is your stress hormone, and that makes you hold belly fat. In fact, the other flip of this coin here is that when you're going through perimenopause, your estrogen levels drop. And estrogen can be made in fat cells. So your body's like, hey, we're running low in reserves. Let's make some more. And how do they do that? They make more belly fat. And that's why it is more of a struggle as you get through perimenopause and menopause to lose belly fat. And stress actually is separate, but it's to partially protect the organs, protect the organs. And then when you stress, what do? You grab the craft and you're like, hey, I'm elbow deep in my sleeve of Oreos, or you're in the pantry, like grabbing all the food. Stress, and then you don't sleep. And that's stressful. You're like, oh God, I'm knackered. You get into bed, you're like, why do pigs not have curly tails like they do in the cartoons? Like, you start thinking about random shit. And then you don't sleep. And then you think, oh, what about that email I was supposed to send? Oh my God, that kid has got that party. I didn't get him a toy. I don't know what kids do. And you got all this extra stress. So stress is the number one thing that I find with all of my, or majority of my perimenopausal, menopausal clients, to help them lose weight and lose fat and also feel better in themselves as well, because now they haven't got these like weird digestive issues. They're not super stressed. They're not like on the go all the time. And so the way I think about it, or the way I teach it, is think if you've got like a pan of boiling water, right? You put your spaghetti. I don't know why I was going to say asparagus. You put your spaghetti in the boiling water. And how many times have you like turned around, started talking to someone, all of a sudden, water's everywhere. If you've got like a gas stove that is unlit, and it's just everything, you're going to wash everything down. Oh my God, it's a ball ache. So that's what stress is like. So you're like up here bubbling with stress, and then you have like one incident, you blow over. So if we can bring your stress levels down, that means that if shit does hit the fan, the stress levels are going to go up, but you've still got this capacity to handle more. Not that we want anymore, but you bring it back down. You always fluctuate between here and here, not here and everywhere, right? So super, super, super important. You will feel better. You will look better. You will lose belly fat if you lower your stress levels. You'll get more energy, better sleep, all of the things. So that is my number one thing when it comes to perimenopause and menopause. Second thing is protein and fiber. Reduce processed carbs. You don't have to eliminate them. You would do well too, but if someone says you can't have something, you want it, right? So if I said to you, no more chocolate, you'd be like, sorry, what did you say? Just shoving this chocolate down my gob. So you need to make sure that your carbs are not necessarily low, but high in fiber. So the way I recommend typically is, and this works for PCOS as well, or endometriosis. So if you've got any hormonal issues, this is what I would recommend. Keep carbs between, now this is very approximate, okay? It depends person to person. So if you want me to speak to you and see what yours should be, let me know and I'll talk to you. Roughly 100 to 120 grams. It could be more, it could be less, but roughly around there. But your fiber needs to be 25 to 30, which means that you only have one starch carb a day. This isn't because carbs are bad and they make you fat, because they don't, but it does mean that you are limiting processed foods. And when you are perimenopausal, menopausal, if you've got any hormonal issues or gut issues, processed foods are like the worst thing you can be having, because it causes further inflammation in your gut, causes inflammation in your brain, causes the dopamine hit and cycle that you're like, give me more, give me more, give me more. And then that's going to make you binge, it's going to make you gain weight, it's going to make you your GI issues bad, brain fog, and all of the things, mood. So stress, you're going to work on your protein and fiber and keeping the carbs low. Fat in a good place, 50 grams plus, right? Maybe up to 70, 75 grams. Again, this is person dependent, but what I'm telling you is don't cut your fats, right? You want to be eating avocado, salmon, olive oil, nuts, seeds. These are all perfect. Eggs, perfect things that you should be encouraging into your diet, not being afraid of. So that is it. I only had time to do 2 because I went into like a little bit more depth, and I was gonna be like, yeah, rapid fire. There's nothing rapid about me when I'm chatting, guys. You know that. So if you have got value, then definitely let me know. I would appreciate it. And maybe I'll do some more of these. It's fun to go through these over 700 like problems or challenges that we've got here directly from you guys. So when you guys come into the group, you have to answer some questions. And one of them is like, what are you struggling with? And we document them all so that I can produce content on them to help you. So I can create like a form or like some sort of cheat sheet or something for you. I don't like piss away this your answers. I document them and I create stuff from them. So if you need anything answered in particular, then let me know and I will excuse me, I will do whatever I can to help you and get you the answers that you need. Okay, let me go through these comments before I head off. All right. Hey, Beth. Currently, foam roll in my back. Oh, God, the pain, the pain. Your makeup looks so good today. Thank you. And you're in here. It's a fake eyelashes today. I had to do. I didn't have to. I chose to do my YouTube video today, so I put some lashes on. My aggressive diet video come out. Did anybody see it? No, because I haven't promoted it yet. But I'm not going to send the direct link. But if any of you guys want to see it, it is on YouTube. And I speak about my first 3 weeks on the aggressive diet, what calories I was on, what happened to my weight, and the struggle, who should do it, who shouldn't do it. I speak all about it. So if you want to go over to YouTube, it is this. So it's YouTube at this is dot coaching. This is dot coaching, and it's the most recent full video. I think it's like 15-ish minutes. Good to go over. Thank you, thank you. This live has been a really good reminder to help me dial back in my nutrition. It's hard if you like, not necessarily fall off, but you know, like it's hard to get back into it. Relax a little, and you're like, oh, relax a little bit too much. We dial that back. It's good to take a step back and reevaluate every now and again. It is. And with our clients, I recommend you evaluate every week, because a week is a long time. Like 7 days is like roughly a quarter of your month, right? Like think about where you were a month ago, 7th of July. Have you made any progress? Can you, hand on heart, say, yes, I have made a month's progress this last month? Or have you been one of those people who's like, yeah, I'll get to it. Yeah, oh, yeah, next week, tomorrow, next week, tomorrow, next week, tomorrow. And now it's like a fucking month later and you're like, oh shit, I should have done it. How do you track fiber? On MyFitnessPal. On MyFitnessPal, you, I'm using my phone here, but basically you track it and you can either go to the top right where there's a pie chart and you click it and then it says nutrients. I think it's like macros, calories, or meals and nutrients. Go to nutrients, it's under there. Or if you set up in your desktop, you can do it so you track it in your diary. So diary settings, fiber, something like that. I think it automatically comes up as sugar. but you can change it to fiber. And then when you're in your diary, you can turn it to the side and it'll come up there then. High fiber foods are vegetables and fruit, especially with the skin. So like apple with the skin, raspberries and beans, yeah, nuts, any plants basically is going to help you with fiber. So there we go. Cool. I'm going to go now because our clients are waiting for me on our coaching call. So if you've got any questions, let me know. If you need anything answered, give me a shout and I'm happy to help you guys. Have a good one. Thanks for joining me. Okay, I'm going to end stream here and then I'm going to end stream on my